I, a 34-year-old male, was married to VI, a 32-year-old female, for 8 years. We met back in college when we were both broke as hell. She was this quiet accounting major, cute but not drop-dead gorgeous or anything. Just this girl with big plans and an even bigger attitude when no one was looking. I was a business major with some decent family connections and enough money to not eat ramen every night. We got married right after graduation. Nothing fancy, just a courthouse ceremony and dinner after. My parents paid because her family was basically broke. I should have seen that as red flag number 1, I guess. She was always obsessed with money and status even back then. Anyway, fast forward to 2 months ago. I've been killing it at my company. Got the corner office, company card, nice bonus structure, the whole deal. Vi was doing pretty well too, working for this finance firm downtown. Funny how she kept getting promotions every 8 to 10 months when everyone else took years to move up, almost like someone was pulling strings behind the scenes. It was me, laughing out loud. Our marriage was okay, I guess. Not great, not terrible. We did the whole dinner with friends thing, posted the vacation pics, all that Instagram perfect stuff. But something always felt off, like she was just going through the motions, like she was waiting for something better to come along. Then I landed this huge project in Portland, 2 weeks away from home, potential for major dollars if I pulled it off. Before I left, Vi was playing the supportive wife role hard, making my favorite dinner, buying me new luggage, even throwing in some surprise bedroom fun the night before I left. "You're going to crush it, babe. I believe in you," she kept saying. The first week away, everything was normal. We video chatted every night. She asked about the meetings, told me about her day, sent me pictures of dinners she made. Probably ordered in, to be honest. But then week 2 hit, and things got weird. Her texts got super short. I'd send paragraphs about how the project was going and get back nice or sounds good. Our calls went from 30 to 40 minutes to like 8 minutes tops, always with her saying she was so tired from work or had early meetings tomorrow. Then, during one video call, I noticed something in our living room looked different. We had this coral throw pillow that Vi absolutely loved, like we literally had arguments about moving it when friends came over. But suddenly, it was gone, replaced by this fancy black and gold pillow I'd never seen before. "Hey, what happened to the coral pillow?" I asked. "Oh, that old thing? Just needed a change," she shrugged. "Yeah, change. Convenient timing." Then I heard it, a dude laughing in the background. "Who's that?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Just the TV," she said. "But I installed our whole entertainment system myself. Our TV sound comes through a Sonos soundbar with very specific audio quality. That was 100% a real person laughing." She ended the call a few minutes later, claiming a headache. The next couple of days, things got even weirder. She stopped answering my goodnight texts. Her location sharing, which we both always had on for safety, was suddenly turned off. Her Instagram stories showed our living room from angles she never used, and I swear I could see a men's watch on our coffee table in one of them. I didn't say anything, though. I just watched and waited. Since I felt something was off, I tried to finish everything early and flew back home. My flight landed at 2 in the afternoon on a Thursday. I texted her, "Just landed," like I always do. No response, which was weird since she always replied to that message. It had been our thing for years. The Uber ride home felt like it took forever. I was checking my phone every 30 seconds, refreshing in case I missed her text. Nothing. I got to our house, rolled my suitcase up the driveway, put my key in the lock, and it didn't work. I tried again, thinking maybe I was just doing it wrong because I was tired from the flight. The lock was completely different. I was so freaking confused, like who the hell changed the locks? That's when my phone buzzed with a message from Vi. "I found someone better. Don't bother trying to come in. I've moved on." I looked up at our security camera, the one I installed myself last summer. The little red light was on, which meant someone was watching the live feed. She was inside our house, watching me stand there like an idiot with my suitcase, probably laughing with whoever this better guy was. 8 years of marriage, gone like that. But here's the crazy part. I didn't feel shocked or even that upset. I felt weirdly calm, like a part of me always knew this would happen eventually. So, instead of pounding on the door or making a scene, I just took a deep breath, stared directly into the security camera, and typed, "Are you sure about that?" She started typing, but I turned around, grabbed my suitcase handle, and walked away. No drama, no begging, no emotional breakdown, just me wheeling my suitcase back down our driveway like I was checking out of a shitty hotel. As I walked, I could see the little typing dots appearing and disappearing on my phone. She was trying to respond but couldn't figure out what to say, probably expecting me to lose it and give her the satisfaction of seeing me break down. Not going to happen, Vi. What my darling wife didn't realize was that I'd been quietly preparing for this possibility for years. All those doors that magically opened for her career, the investments she thought she controlled, the lifestyle she'd gotten so comfortable with. I built it all. and I could tear it all down just as easily. So, after walking away from my own house like some kind of badass, laughing out loud, not really, I was honestly just too shocked to react, I checked into this Holiday Inn about 10 minutes away. Nothing fancy, but I needed somewhere to crash and figure out my next move. The first thing I did was call my boy Mac. We've been tight since sophomore year of college. He was my roommate after my first one dropped out. Mac's always been that friend who knows everybody's business and isn't afraid to tell you the brutal truth. "Dude, where the hell are you?" he asked when he picked up. "Your location shows you at some hotel." I gave him the short version of what just happened. He went quiet for a minute, then said, "Give me an hour. I'll call you back." While waiting for Mac to work his magic, I decided to do some investigating of my own. Vi's never been the tech-savvy one in our relationship. I literally had to set up her work email signature for her last year, laughing my ass off. So I tried logging into our shared cloud storage account, and boom, she was still using the same password I set up 3 years ago. Amateur hour. I started scrolling through recently added photos, and there they were. Dozens of pictures of Vi with some dude I'd never seen before, in our house, on our couch. My couch that I paid for with my bonus last year. Some of these pictures were from weeks ago, including nights when I was on business trips or working late. There were even a couple from when I was literally on video calls with her. I could see the laptop open in the background while she was cuddled up with this guy. So, all those calls where she was so tired and needed to go to bed early? Yeah, she was banging this douchebag in our bed 2 minutes after hanging up with me. My phone buzzed. "It was Vi, you're taking this better than I expected. No fighting for us? Guess I was right about finding someone better."
I didn't respond, not yet anyway. Mac called back. "Okay, bro, got the scoop."
"Your wife seeing some guy named Zeke. Works for a competitor, but came in as a client about 3 months ago. They've been spotted all over town. That new wine bar on 7th, the steakhouse downtown, even that Italian place where you guys had your anniversary dinner last year." "Classy," I muttered. "Gets better," Mac continued. "This Zeke dude has a reputation. My buddy Dom works in the same industry. Says this guy has a pattern. He targets married women who are moving up in their careers, uses them for industry connections and insider info, then ghosts once he gets what he wants. Done it at least 3 times before." "So he's using her?" I said, feeling weirdly satisfied. 100%, but she doesn't know that yet. Dom says he plays the perfect boyfriend. Expensive gifts, fancy restaurants, the whole deal. Meanwhile, he's gathering intel to take back to his actual employer. This gave me an idea. I thanked Mac and hung up, then scrolled through my contacts until I found the name I was looking for, Jen. Jen works with Vi at the same firm. She's this smoking hot brunette with legs for days and an MBA from Wharton. Vi's always been insanely jealous of her, constantly complaining about how Jen dresses inappropriately and flirts with everyone's husbands at company events. What Vi doesn't know is that Jen's been low-key flirting with me for years. Nothing I ever acted on. I was faithful to Vi for our entire marriage, despite having plenty of opportunities. But Jen and I always had this chemistry. She'd find reasons to talk to me at company parties, laugh at all my jokes, touch my arm when we talked. Vi noticed and hated it. I hit call. "Jack, is everything okay?" Jen answered, sounding surprised. "Hey Jen," I said, trying to sound casual. "Remember that drink you've been suggesting for the past year? I'm very available tonight." There was a pause, then Jen laughed. "Well, this is unexpected. Vi finally loosen your leash?" "Vi's out of the picture," I said, permanently. Another pause. "That bar on 9th, 8 o'clock? Perfect." I hung up, feeling like a weight had been lifted. Then I opened the Photos app on my phone again and looked through pictures from Vi and me. 8 years together, and she threw it all away for some smooth-talking corporate spy. Part of me was angry, but another part was almost relieved, like maybe I'd been waiting for an excuse to end things. I took a shower, put on my best jeans and button-down, and headed to meet Jen. The whole Uber ride there, my phone was blowing up with texts from Vi. "What did you mean by that text?" "Jack, please respond. We should talk about this like adults. Are you seriously ignoring me right now?" I turned my phone to silent and put it away. Time to start the next phase. Jen was already at the bar when I arrived, looking incredible in this little black dress. She stood up to hug me, and I caught at least 3 dudes giving me envious looks. We grabbed a table and ordered drinks, and for the first time in months, I was actually enjoying a conversation with a woman. Jen's smart, funny, and doesn't try to make me feel bad about my job. "So, what happened with Vi?" she eventually asked after our second round. I gave her the short version. Her eyes got wider and wider. "Holy shit," she said when I finished. "What are you going to do?" I shrugged, trying to look casual. "Move on, starting tonight." Jen gave me this look that was part sympathy, part something else. Well, for what it's worth, I always thought she didn't appreciate what she had. We took a selfie with our wine glasses. Jen's idea. She posted it to her Instagram with the caption, "Finally got that drink," and tagged the location. I knew damn well Vi followed her. By the time we finished dinner, which somehow turned into dessert and another round of drinks, Vi had called me 17 times. I'd ignored every single one. When Jen and I left the restaurant, I suggested walking her home since it was only a few blocks. Outside her apartment, she hesitated. "Want to come up?" "No pressure, just, it's still early." Part of me thought it was too soon. The other part, the part that saw those pictures of Vi and Zeke on my couch, thought, life's too short. "Love to," I said. By morning, Vi had blown up my phone with over 30 messages, ranging from angry to confused to desperate. I ignored them all and posted a new picture to my own Instagram, just the view from Jen's balcony with 2 coffee cups visible on the table, captioned, "Great start to a new chapter." After Jen left for work, with plans to meet up again that night, I opened my laptop and started sending emails to some old colleagues, people who might be interested to know about a certain corporate spy named Zeke, who's been gathering insider information through his relationship with an executive at their competitor. By midnight, I'd set up meetings with 3 different people who could help me systematically dismantle everything Zai thought she'd built on her own. She wanted to play dirty? Fine, I invented the game. But here's something V never figured out. I didn't just help with her career, I basically built the whole damn thing from scratch. 5 years ago, Vi was stuck as an assistant account manager, making decent money but constantly getting passed over for promotions. She'd come home crying, like every other week, about how Jessica got promoted instead of me, or they hired some new guy from outside instead of promoting me. Always the victim, never considering that maybe she just wasn't that good at her job. I remember one night, after another crying session about being overlooked, I decided to make some calls. My family's not like mega rich or anything, but we've got connections. My Uncle Rob was on the board of directors at this mid-size investment firm that was looking to expand their client base. I arranged a chance meeting between Vi and the hiring manager at some charity thing my mom organized. 2 weeks later, Vi got an offer for senior account manager, basically skipping 2 levels from where she was before. She was over the moon, thinking it was all because of her amazing interview skills, laughing my ass off. But here's the thing. I didn't just make an introduction. I actually invested a pretty significant chunk of money, $250,000 from my trust fund, in the firm under a shell company called Morgan Holdings. Morgan is my mom's maiden name. Real subtle, right? But Vi never bothered to look into it. She was so excited about her fancy new business cards and corner office that she literally just signed wherever the HR lady pointed, including an agreement giving significant control to the silent investor who'd provided capital for her division's expansion. Guess who that investor was? Yep. Anyway, I'm in my hotel room the morning after staying at Jen's place. That girl is wild, by the way. The things she can do with her tongue should be illegal in at least 12 states. And I'm putting together my game plan. First move, figure out exactly what VI's been up to with company finances. Remember how I said I helped set up her accounts? Well, I also made sure I remained listed as an advisory consultant on most of them, basically giving me backdoor access to see what she was spending. Not that I ever used it. I trusted her, until now. I logged in and holy shit, the spending in the last month was insane. A $1,000 designer couch, an $8,000 watch, a weekend trip to Napa Valley for client relations that cost over $5,000. All on the company card, all poorly disguised as business expenses. Then I got a call from S, Vi's sister. We've always gotten along pretty well, she's the normal one in Vi's family. "Jack, you busy? We need to talk." "What's up?" I asked, still scrolling through Vi's expense reports. I can't keep quiet anymore. Zeke, the guy Vi's seeing, he's bad news, like really bad. He's done this before multiple times. Done what exactly? S says he targets women in positions like Vi, romances them, gets them to share confidential info, then disappears once he has what he needs. 3 women at VI's company lost their jobs because of him last year. I'm not even surprised. How do you know all this? Because Vi's been asking me to hold documents for her, said it was just in case things went south at work. I looked at them last night, Jack. It's bad. She's been moving serious money around, big purchases hidden as business expenses. And there are emails between her and Zeke discussing confidential client information. Now we're getting somewhere. Can you send me copies? Already did. Check your email. Sure enough, there they were, dozens of documents showing Vi had been embezzling company funds and leaking confidential information to Zeke. Information about upcoming mergers, client portfolios, investment strategies that could literally tank the company if it got into the wrong hands. And the best part? All on her work email, the one I helped set up. The one with a recovery phone number that goes to my phone because Vi was too busy to deal with IT security when she started. It was time to make some moves. First, I called my lawyer, Dave. We play golf together sometimes, and he helped with my parents' estate planning. I gave him the rundown and emailed over the most important documents. Jesus Christ, Jack, this is serious stuff. Embezzlement, corporate espionage. She could face actual jail time for this. I'm not looking to put her in jail, I explained. I just want to make sure she doesn't walk away with everything we've built. Everything I've built. Dave was quiet for a minute. Okay, here's what we do next. I texted Vi, just had an interesting chat about those expense reports, particularly the ones from last month. The couch looks great in our living room, by the way. Italian, right? The company might want to know where the money came from, though. Her response was immediate. What are you talking about? Oh, and Zeke's history with the company makes for fascinating reading. 3 settlements in 2 years. Impressive resume. The typing indicator appeared and disappeared several times. Then, Jack, we need to talk after my meeting with the ethics committee tomorrow. Her panic was palpable. What meeting, Jack? Please. I didn't respond. Instead, I posted another picture with Jen, this time from breakfast at this fancy place downtown. Jen looked amazing in the morning light, all tousled hair and bright eyes. The post got like 50 likes in 10 minutes, including from several of our mutual friends. Vi's sister, S, called again. She's freaking out. Called me screaming about some ethics meeting and asking if I took her documents. I played dumb, but Jack, I'm worried about what she might do. Just stay clear of her today, I advised. Things are about to get complicated. I spent the rest of the day making calls and setting up for tomorrow, got meetings with the head honcho at Vi's company, their security guy, and the money lady who's been giving Vi side-eye about her spending for months but couldn't nail her down. Time to drop the hammer. By evening, everything was in place. I met Jen for dinner at this little Thai place where nobody from Vi's work would go. She's wearing this tight green dress that made me forget about revenge for about 2 hours. So, what's the plan for tomorrow? Jen asked over dessert. Full nuclear option? I shook my head. Controlled demolition. I don't want to destroy the company, just extract Vi from it with minimal damage to everyone else. She raised an eyebrow. That's surprisingly merciful of you. I shrugged. The company didn't do anything wrong, and there are people there who depend on their jobs. Including me, Jen pointed out. Especially you, I agreed. And she gave me that look again, the one that's been making me forget my own name since last night. My phone buzzed with a notification. It was our home security system. Motion detected in the home office. I opened the app to see Vi frantically going through filing cabinets, pulling out folders, and throwing papers everywhere. She was looking for evidence, for the paperwork that would show how deep my involvement with her career went. What she didn't know was that all the important stuff was in a safe deposit box across town. The safe behind our honeymoon photo that she was currently trying to pry open contained nothing but a single note I left there months ago. You should have read the fine print. I showed Jen the security feed, and she nearly spit out her wine, laughing. Oh my God, she looks insane. Vi called 7 more times that night. I let them all go to voicemail. The last one, she was actually crying, Jack, please, whatever you think you know, it's not what it looks like. Zeke isn't who you think he is. He's been helping me with my career. Please, just call me back before you do something we'll both regret. Too late for that, Vi. About 8 years too late. I fell asleep in Jen's bed with a strange sense of peace. I knew that the next day, Vi was going to learn exactly who she'd been married to all these years, and it wasn't the pushover she thought I was. The last thing I did before falling asleep was send one final text to Vi. Check your email at 8 in the morning tomorrow. Pay special attention to the attachment from March 15th. March 15th, the day she signed the partnership agreement 5 years ago, the one she clearly never read carefully enough. Game on. So I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, feeling like it was Christmas morning. Today was the day Vi would realize exactly how screwed she was. I carefully slid out of bed, trying not to wake Jen, and grabbed my laptop. First order of business, sending that email I promised Vi. I attached the partnership agreement from 5 years ago, the one where she was clearly listed as a managing partner whose position was contingent. On approval from Morgan Holdings, the one that gave the primary investor, also known as me, authority to review all financial decisions. The one with a very specific clause about ethical violations, resulting in immediate asset review. I also attached screenshots of her expense reports for the last 3 months, with all the personal purchases highlighted in bright yellow, the $1,000 couch, the $8,000 watch she bought Zeke, the weekend trips, all neatly categorized and cross-referenced with social media posts, proving they were personal expenses, not business-related. I sent screenshots of her emails with Zeke discussing confidential client information as well. Information she had absolutely no right to share with anyone, let alone an employee of a competing firm. I hit send at exactly 8 in the morning, then opened the home security app to watch the show. Sure enough, Vi was in the kitchen with her phone, still wearing yesterday's clothes, looking like hell, mascara smeared, hair a mess. Guess she had a rough night destroying our home office looking for documents that weren't there. Her phone pinged. She picked it up, opened the email. I wished the camera had better resolution because watching the color drain from her face was priceless. She dropped into a chair, scrolling frantically through the attachments, then started calling me again. I declined the call and texted, "No time to talk. Meeting the CEO in 30 minutes. That got her moving. She ran upstairs, presumably to shower and change. Meanwhile, I was getting dressed myself, putting on my best suit, the one Vi always said made me look intimidatingly successful. I grabbed an Uber to Vi's company headquarters, this fancy glass building downtown that practically screamed, "We manage rich people's money here." The receptionist buzzed me into the main conference room, where the CEO and executive team were waiting. When I walked in, the company bigwigs were already there, including a woman I'll call Gloria, the money lady who's always looked at Vi suspiciously. "Jack," the CEO stood to shake my hand. "Thanks for bringing this to our attention." The door burst open, and Vi rushed in, looking like she got dressed in a tornado, hair still wet, blouse buttoned wrong, total mess. "Jack, what are you doing here?" Her voice cracked when she saw me. I smiled pleasantly. "Just showing your bosses how you've been stealing company money and leaking secrets." Vi sputtered. Then suddenly her eyes narrowed. "Wait, I saw you with Jen last night. You posted it on Instagram. Is that what this is about?" I ignored her accusation and slid the folder toward the CEO, bank statements, expense reports, and emails showing everything. "This is revenge because I cheated," Vi yelled, getting louder. "You're my coworker, and now you're trying to destroy me." The CEO cleared his throat. "Vivian, your personal drama isn't our concern. The $1,000 couch and leaked documents, however, are. This is all because of Jen," Vi screamed, completely losing it. "She's wanted him for years. They planned this together." "Zeke Marshall was caught trying to access our servers this morning," Gloria cut in coldly. "Security removed him from the building." Vi collapsed into a chair, the fight draining out of her. That's not possible." "But how did you access everything?" she finally asked, looking defeated. "Morgan Holdings," I replied calmly. "That's me. I'm your silent investor." The color drained from her face as everything clicked. You set me up." "No, you set yourself up. I just built in a failsafe." As security escorted her out, she turned back, tears streaming down her face. "Was it worth it, destroying me just to be with her? How long have you two been planning this?" "This has nothing to do with Jen," I replied. "This is about your choices, the embezzlement, the corporate espionage. Cheating was just the beginning." "You jackass," she spat. "You'll regret this." After security escorted Vi out, the CEO turned to me. "That was intense. You okay?" "I'm fine," I said. "Just glad it's over." "We owe you for catching this," he said. "Could have cost us millions if it continued. We'll handle it quietly. She can resign or face charges." We wrapped up in 20 minutes flat. As I was leaving, the CEO added, "For what it's worth, I'm sorry about your marriage, but the company appreciates your discretion." I nodded and headed out. No need to explain that I'd been planning for this possibility for years. As I was leaving the building, my phone exploded with notifications. Mac texted, "Dude, check your security cameras. Vi's destroying your house." I pulled up the app to see Vi throwing things and screaming, tearing through drawers and smashing picture frames. I couldn't hear the audio, but it was clear she'd completely lost it. I texted Mac, "Let her rage. Nothing important there anyway." By the time I met Jen for lunch, Vi had called 37 times and left 14 voicemails. The last one actually made me pause. "You and that bitch have been planning this all along, haven't you? I saw the way she looked at you at the Christmas party. Was she yours then too? Is that why you set me up? You wanted her instead, so you destroyed me. I will burn your life down, I swear to God. You think you're so smart with your Morgan Holdings? I will make you regret this, both of you." I'm still staring at my phone when Jen reached across the table and took my hand. "Everything okay? You look stressed." I deleted the voicemail and squeezed her hand. "Vi's not taking it well. She thinks we planned this together." Jen raised an eyebrow. "Seriously? I didn't even know you were interested until you called me yesterday."
"Yeah, well, easier to blame us than accept responsibility," I said. "Don't worry about it." "So what happens next?"
Jen asked. I smiled. "Now we move to phase 2. And like that, phase 2 began the very next morning when I met with Dave, my lawyer, at his downtown office. The guy looked like he hadn't slept in days, but his eyes lit up when I walked in. "Jack, perfect timing. I've been reviewing your situation and, well, it's beautiful, legally speaking." I grabbed a seat across from him. "Beautiful how? That partnership agreement Six signed 5 years ago? It's bulletproof. The ethical violations clause triggers an immediate review of all personal assets acquired during the partnership period." I couldn't help grinning. "And what exactly does that mean for Vi?" Dave started ticking things off on his fingers. "The house, Purchased with a loan you guaranteed through your family's bank connections. Her BMW. A company lease you. Arranged, the vacation property in Tahoe, a joint asset but primarily funded by your investments. Even her designer wardrobe, mostly purchased using company funds you helped her access. So, basically everything, I summarized. Basically everything, Dave confirmed. She'll be left with her personal savings account, about $18,000 based on the statements you provided, and those student loans you've been paying. You mean the student loans I stopped paying last month? I corrected him. Dave's eyebrows shot up. Damn, you really thought of everything. I learned from the best, I said, nodding at him. We spent the next hour mapping out the strategy. By noon, papers were filed, accounts were frozen, and the wheels of justice started turning, slowly but definitely in my direction. I headed back to the hotel to find Jen waiting in the lobby, looking stunning as always. How'd it go with the lawyer? She asked as we walked to a nearby cafe for lunch. Let's just say Vi's about to learn what financial ruin really means. Jen winced. You sound brutal. Deserved, but brutal. I shrugged. She didn't just cheat on me. She tried to completely screw my career too. If I hadn't fed her fake information about those projects, I could have been implicated in insider trading. I could have faced actual jail time. When you put it that way, Jen nodded slowly. Still, people at work already think I'm the reason your marriage ended. Let them think whatever they want, I replied, reaching for her hand across the table. We know the truth, which is that Vi demolished our marriage all by herself, and you're just the smart, gorgeous woman who happened to be in the right place at the right time. Jen smiled at that. Smooth talker. No wonder Vi's telling everyone you manipulated her. My phone buzzed. It was S. Vi showed up at my apartment at 3 in the morning, completely hysterical, screaming about how I betrayed her by giving you those documents. I arranged to meet her at the hotel lobby after lunch. When she arrived, S looked exhausted, with dark circles under her eyes. You okay? I asked, genuinely concerned. S has always been the normal one in Vi's family. I'm fine. I told her she betrayed herself by cheating on you and committing actual crimes. S rubbed her temples. She's staying with our parents now. They think you're the devil, by the way. She convinced them you set her up from the beginning. I shrugged. Not from the beginning, just from the moment I realized she was the kind of person who might need setting up. S actually laughed at that. You know what the craziest part is? Zeke dumped her the second things went south. Called her damaged goods and blocked her number after everything she risked for him. Not surprised, I said. He got what he wanted. Or thought he did. About that fancy couch, that $1,000 Italian monstrosity 6 bought to impress Zeke? Turns out she didn't just use regular company funds. She used money from a special account specifically set up for the upcoming merger. The same merger Zeke was gathering intel on for that company. So, not only did she embezzle, she literally stole from the exact project her boyfriend was trying to sabotage. You can't make this up. I knew Vi would do something like this. 5 years of marriage taught me that she couldn't resist flaunting wealth, fancy cars, designer bags, Instagram-perfect vacations. So, 3 months before my Portland trip, I started laying a trap. Every conversation about work, every deal I mentioned over dinner, was carefully planted misinformation. The real projects were locked behind NDAs she never knew existed. So, when she fed Zeke what she thought was insider info, Vi's company ended up chasing ghosts, wasting millions on deals that never existed. Everything unraveled fast. Within 2 weeks, Zeke got fired. Turns out, once you're exposed as a corporate spy, no one wants you. Vi, realizing her life was crumbling, bombarded me with desperate messages, blaming me for ruining her. I had Dave send a cease and desist, and that was that. She even tried fighting the prenup, but the judge dismissed it outright, citing her crimes. The truth is, she made her choices, and in the end, the better choice was always mine. Speaking of better choices, karma delivered one right to my door. A courier showed up with a padded envelope a few weeks later. Inside, a house key and a note in Vi's handwriting. I understand now. You didn't just help build my career, you designed it with a self-destruct sequence. No apology, just recognition, whatever. The divorce is final. Mac dropped by my new downtown loft for coffee. Divorce looks good on you, he joked. Revenge looks better, I replied. Was all this worth it, though, he asked? The years of planning, setting up those fail-safes? It wasn't about revenge, I said. It was protection, like insurance you hope never to use. Still, did you have to take everything? He said. S says she's working at Target now. I shrugged. She made her choices. Everything after was just consequences. What happened to that Zeke guy, unemployable in finance, moved to Florida? Florida man strikes again, Mac laughed. And you and Jen? Right on cue, Jen walked in with takeout. Things between us are good, taking it slow, but she practically lives here now. No games, no manipulation, just something real. Later, I showed Jen Vi's note. "Are you going to respond?" she asked. "Nothing to say. It's over." And it was. My career exploded upward, leading the expansion division after our merger tripled the stock price. My options are now worth 7 figures. Vi could have shared in all this. Instead, she's in her childhood bedroom, working retail. Last piece of irony, that $1,000 Couch 6 bought with company money now sits in my corner office, a trophy symbolizing her downfall. S texted yesterday, "Vi saw your promotion announcement, cried for hours. This morning from an unknown number, you planned this all along, didn't you?" I didn't respond. Some questions answer themselves. Would I have triggered those fail-safes if she hadn't cheated? No. I built them for protection, not destruction. But once she crossed that line and put my career at risk, all bets were off. "You know what the best revenge is?" Jen asked last night. "What?" "That living well," she murmured, "and you're crushing it." She's right. The best revenge isn't destroying someone's world. It's letting them destroy it themselves while thinking they're winning, then building something better from the ruins. Vi thought she found someone better. Turns out, I did. Sometimes the best things in life aren't free. They're just paid for by someone else's mistakes.